Hey guys, this is just the reality of the world today. Demon possession is real. Ghosts are real, you can send them to the light. Christianity ended. The Christianity that we've had for the last almost 2,000 years has not been right. It has not been the things of God. It's been made by evil men, right? These are just the realities of the world that we live in. How do you reconcile those things whenever you've seen things like I've seen, whenever people have gotten possessed and completely jumped up beyond like physics, they jumped up beyond physics. Mouth changed, eyes changed, and there was another witness there with me that happened. He was there, he saw it all, right? Came up so fast that his knee was bleeding by scraping it, and he lost his voice for like 2 or 3 days afterwards because he yelled so much. Like he was completely possessed. The night before that, 6 people got possessed at the exact same time. They were all in different rooms in the house, and everybody made different sounds, screaming like a banshee, moaning, screaming in terror, screaming with really deep voice, 3 voices coming out of one, someone laughing hysterically, and another person going, woo, woo, like all people in different rooms all got possessed at the same time. I was told I'm following God now and God only. God sent me on a lot of different paths. He sent me a lot. Well, it was always this path, but He sent me to all the places whenever I would get something in my head thinking maybe this is the way it is. Then I would go there and find out that it was completely wrong because I told the truth. So I was in cults and traveled and figured all this stuff out throughout time, but He also showed me enough stuff, or I saw enough stuff to know that this is a fact of life, and people don't know about this, right? It's also a fact that people don't know about this. It's also a fact that Christianity has been wrong and the preachers have been liars for this many years, for 2,000 years. Christianity's been wrong and the people have been liars, and people have not been following God. It's a fact that they don't do what Christians do, that it wasn't spread the way Christianity was spread, and that it's all confusion and evil and nothing like what Christianity was. You can't have a child molester in old Christianity. Everybody in the church would know it. There was people, they would have had dreams, they would have known, the person would have dropped dead. Now people stand up and think they're getting filled with the Holy Spirit after their preacher just molested a child and then laid hands on them. This is the reality of the world today. Demon possession is real. Spiritual things are real. I was told that this movement is going to be 100 years. Okay? From now, whatever He meant by that, it's starting, it's happening. This is going to be over the next 100 years that this is going to happen. It's people coming back to God and God only. Same dream I was told that it's been 500 years. Now, what happened 500 years ago? What happened in the 1500s? Right? You had King Henry and William Tyndale getting the Bible together right before this, and then you had King James. And what they did is they gave the Bible to everybody, and nobody's been in God for almost 500 years. They took this Bible, put everybody back in the flesh, and got everybody out of the spirit. What they did was and then King James, they said, if you didn't go by the Bible, if you don't go by this, then don't listen to your dreams, don't listen to your visions. This is the Word of God. You go by this. And they also wrote a book on demonology, King James did, and there was witch trials, and they burned everybody who was spiritual. Anybody who had dreams and visions, all of these things, they burned them, they tortured them, they drowned them. This is the reality of life. It's been that long since anybody's been able to follow the Spirit, because the Spirit that people follow now, they don't believe what the Spirit tells them unless it lines up with the Bible, or unless it lines up with the Quran, or unless it lines up with the Torah. So they are only allowed to do the things that are in them, right? But these things are real. So you've got atheists out here, right? I've seen enough stuff to know atheists don't know anything. This is a reality of life, right? That this stuff's real. It's also a reality of life that Christianity is over, that it ended, and that nobody said this for 2,000 years. And God told me that Christianity ended. It's also reality that I went on more going places, went on more journeys trying to find the truth and everything, and that God gave it to me, gave me something that nobody said, that's as plain as the nose on your face right in this book that everybody's been reading. It's also plain that it's not true because of the way Christianity was set up in the last 2,000 years and the way that it's been and how it's genocide and murder and rape and theft and conquering, and that's how Christianity came about today. And through wicked men making the Bible and getting everybody else out of the Spirit, right? I'm trying to get you back to the Spirit. There is real power. God told me one time, he said, are there enough who believe to manifest God? In other words, God is not manifested in this world because you guys don't believe. If enough of us believe, if we spread this message, you realize people are lost right now. People are lost, and this message is just as important as the gospel being preached in the end of the old world. And this is going to be a world war because of this, between Christians, Muslims, and Jews. It's going to affect the whole world. That's more than half of the world's population. Everybody's going to think it's the end time. This is a huge deception. Jesus is the new stumbling block. Jesus is the new stumbling block now. Just like whenever Jesus came, the stumbling block was the law. And they said, no, we have the law and the prophets. We have the law. We have Abraham to our father. So they rejected Christ. Well, now people are going back to Christ, and he's the stumbling block whenever they're not getting in the Spirit and not believing what Christ did. Christians are rejecting Christ. Muslims rejected Christ. Their Bibles got Christ and Abraham and everything else. They rejected what Christ did. Jews reject Christ. Everybody rejects what he actually did, what he fulfilled, what he finished, that we can get in touch with God, that we don't need a mediator, that we have access to God and we can be spiritual people. And there can be power again. And there was power. They killed the power with the Bible. Now everybody's got their Bibles and their Qurans and everything else, and they killed the power of God. They called everybody witches. I got a new birthmark years back. I never had this birthmark. They would have killed me. It looks kind of like a dragon or a scorpion or a phoenix or something, but I didn't have that. This might be a weird thing to do on camera, I guess. But I didn't have that before. You know, it kind of looks like a phoenix to me. You know? Like, and how do you get that? How do you get a birthmark that looks like that? But I got this mark whenever I started seeking God and going on all these journeys. Alright? So I got a mark that looks to me like a phoenix or something. They would have killed me. They would have tortured me. They would have said that I was marked with the devil. Right? I did not have that birthmark my whole life. That came from spirituality and following God and getting this message and doing this. And we need power. You guys have to fight the ghosts that are there. You have to get in the Spirit and send them to the light. Get them off of this earth. That breaks down power. They still have power. They died lost. Their spirits are still in your houses. Their spirits are roaming around, and they refuse to go to the light to get judged. As you guys send them to the light and get the ghosts out, because they will disrupt your lives, okay? They'll make you feel things that you didn't want to feel. They'll possess you. You won't even know it. They'll make you angry, make you argue, make you keep your house a mess, make everything else. You know, you won't even know why you're doing it. But it's because you have ghosts in your house that are controlling you, because their spirits are there. You got to get these evil spirits off of you, and those evil spirits come from following the law and Christ and everything else. Those are the people that are fighting demons, that always have them attacking them, because they're going back to the time that there was a battle between them and that Satan ruled the world, right? Before Christ took it, destroyed Satan, and gave the kingdoms to God, and let God rule the whole earth. Now you have access to God. So what I'm telling you isn't some weird shit like everybody else tells you, you know? They want to go to this and go to that and some kind of conspiracy and some kind of... No, this is plain, absolute truth that God was not working, will be working again, that these things are real. This is absolute truth. It's plain, all right? I'm not saying the Bible isn't true and this, that, and trying to make up some doctrine, you know, some new mystical spiritual doctrine or anything. No, I'm telling you that God is the way God always was. He'll bless them which bless me, curse them which curse me. He'll bless those that bless you, curse them which curse you. This is how God is. This is how he was. The way was cut off, but wisdom has opened it. God is not okay with not having truth. And if you think that the way has not been closed, then you have to think that God is okay with lies. He's never been that way. You can look at the history of God Abraham and everything. He's never been okay with any of that. Nobody has ever gotten away with a single damn thing, and nobody ever will. Ever. Whatever you do, you won't get away with. You need to hope that you suffer in this life rather than suffering in the next life. If God does not make you suffer for anything that you do wrong in this life, you're in trouble, because you're going to suffer in the next life. Everybody's going to do some things wrong, but some of you guys are wicked and some of us are stuck here and we're actually good and we're trying to do the right thing. This is a very important message, and it takes preachers, it takes people to spread this message. If you know that you're called of God, God will be there with you every step of the way. If you refuse God, He'll walk away from you, like He showed me that He would walk away from me. This is just true. I am not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not somebody out here telling you that the earth is flat. I don't have any of these weird things, you know. I'm not telling you this or that, or you gotta, do whatever. I'm telling you to follow God and God only, and telling you the absolute, just simple truth that Christianity is not what it was. Christianity ended. Christianity's over. We have to follow God, and if you want God to move in this life, you have to follow God. You have to have dreams and visions. What I mean by visions is right before you fall asleep for good, you'll drift off for a second, you'll see something. Those are very important. They'll have spiritual principles in them. It'll be something weird that you wouldn't have thought of. That's God talking to you. And you can do all these things. We all can. But the Bible and Christianity has kept everybody from this. And then people tried to go back to spirituality, but they're doing it through the Bible rather than doing it through God. They're doing it through Christ and the Bible and Mohammed and the Quran. This is how people are doing their spirituality. They're actually just witches. This is a spiritual war, and they are fighting you spiritually. They hate you spiritually. They're praying against these videos. They're praying against you, even if they're not saying it physically with their mouth. Their spirits are against you. They want you to fail. They want me to fail. They don't want anybody to get in touch with God. So they're constantly against our channels, our videos. They're against your spirit. They're against you doing the right thing and preaching for God and walking with God and telling people about this. It doesn't matter. Are you okay with just you being fine and the rest of the world not? If you know the truth, you need to tell people the truth. This is what's important. It is important. This is a fact of life. Evil people and evil spirits have preached the Bible and Christianity and usurped the whole world through it. And they've made it very hard for anybody to follow God or to see the truth. Everybody's stumbling at the new stumbling block, which is Jesus Christ today. Everybody's stumbling at it. They can't get in touch with God. They can't do the right things. They're in this evil, wicked religion. Alright? All these things are true. You guys, atheists and stuff, it's just people who didn't want to tell the truth. Right? They got out of church. The people who are messed up with the Bible, they just didn't want to tell the truth about what the Bible said. Some people say Jesus already returned, but they refuse to tell the truth that Christianity's over, Atheists, they wanted to live for God, but instead of going and finding the truth and actually pressing through and saying no, they accepted certain lies and pushed certain thoughts out so that they can now live their life happily. That's all they care about, is what? Living this 20, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years. That's it? That's all you care about? The whole world is overtaken with the Bible. We got to get this movement. We got to get people. We got to tell them. They're actually lost. The way was closed up. If we don't tell people, then they will stay lost. Alright? The Bible shut the way off. 500 years ago, they started killing everybody who was spiritual. It shut it off. You got to follow God. Have your dreams. Have your visions. Pray to Him only. And don't get mixed up. Don't start saying this stuff isn't true, That's not right. This is true. Abraham was true. Moses was true. Jesus was true. All that stuff was true. Don't try and make yourself just feel better so you can live a life, So you can say, oh, well, now I have my life and I'm excited. I can just go live for the next few... No, it's not going to be okay. I had a dream the other day that this was 2 nights ago. And I was with somebody... and they broke into a house, and I refused to break into the house. But since I was with them, we got sent to the judge. right? And we were locked up waiting for this judge. Not really in a prison, but we were in a waiting place. Well, this person was scared, and they tried to grab clothes and everything to make it up to this window to try and break out so that the judge wouldn't talk to them. Now, they actually said that they believed God only, but they didn't follow God. They didn't do anything with God. And they tried to break into a house, and then they tried to break out of here. It's the same thing, same principle back in the day, that they were trying to get to Christ a different way. They were trying to get through a different way. He was even peeling paint off the wall, trying to stack it. His efforts were futile, was what the Spirit was showing me. That he was doing everything he could, peeling paint off the wall, stacking it, trying to, like, that's going to get him high enough to break out this window. Well, in the dream, the lady said, I don't even know why you're here. She said, you didn't do anything wrong talking to me. But the other person was hiding and wouldn't come to the judge. And then they let me go. Because I said I didn't do anything wrong. And she said, I know you didn't do anything wrong. I don't know why you're here. And then they let me go. So just being with them, I had to go in with them, but they let me go. It is important to actually follow God. The way that you put in yourself to Christianity is what you need to put into following God. The way that you were in church and you were gung-ho and you were going to do what was right and you were praying to Jesus and you were doing all this, you need to give God not only that, but more. Give him more of that desire. Go preach like you wanted to save people in Christianity. Go pray like you wanted to whenever you were in Christianity. Live for God. Follow God. He will bring power back, but he cannot unless other people do it. If nobody else does it, then I'm just going to sit here and preach this, and then I'm going to die and go be with him. I'm doing everything that I can. But if we want something to happen in the world, that is up to us. God is not going to poof make it happen. He's not going to make my videos be seen. He gave us humanity. We change people down here. It took me seeking until I found him. Not him just coming and telling me. I had to seek until I found him. Now you guys also have to do what he wants. He's not just going to make a work happen. We have to seek, find, get in him, preach, change the people that we can. He will send people that are looking. He'll send them, and then they'll have to wrestle in themselves with whether or not this is true and whether or not this is what they want to do. But if enough of us actually follow God really, and know that this is true, and know that this is what we want to do, and live like it actually means something, like it is God, like power will come again, like we will have a work to do for God. If we live like this is actually important, and not just important, but the most important thing in the world, if we will live that way, then we can affect people and change people. But the thing is, he uses people to change people. God does not just poof, all right, this person's fine because I decided, this person's fine because I decided. Nobody has to make it. Nobody has to make it. God does not have to make it to where this many people make it to heaven or something. We have to choose it. We have to do it. It is up to us to change people. People change people. God does not do that. This is our earth. This is what he gave us. We are the ones that have the power to make change. And the truth is, spirituality is a real thing. Atheists are not right. Christians are not right. Christianity ended. Christians are liars. They're not going to make it to heaven. They're not going to enter heaven. They're going to be in prison. Wherever they go from there, I don't know yet. But they're definitely going to that prison. They're demons, and demons don't enter heaven. They're going to see the light whenever they die. They're going to go into that light, and they're going to be judged. And if they stay here, it is also up to us to get them off of this planet. If any ghosts are bothering you, get in the spirit with the thoughts that you are talking to that ghost. Just say, what is your name? And then go to sleep. It will tell you its name once you go to sleep. Say, what do you want? It'll tell you what it wants. Say, pray for an angel to come get it. And an angel will get it out of your house. And it'll be gone. And it'll go to the light. And you'll have cleaned up the earth a little bit more. The movement is going to be as big as we make the movement. And there is a huge war coming over the temple where everybody's going to think it's the end of the world. This is coming today. This is happening in this next 100 years that I saw. It's going to revolve around this. It's going to be a change in the world, a change in government, a change with Christianity. Everything's going to change, but it's up to us to get people to live in power and follow God. It's up to us. Don't just sit on it like as if we have our own salvation now and we're fine. We have to care that other people are also lost. We have to care. We have to make this happen, guys. We have to make it happen. God will never fault you for doing rather than not doing. He'll never be like, well, won't you wait a while? No, get out there and do it. Get out there and he'll move. He'll be there with you. Get out there. It's important. Tell people. People are going to persecute you and hate you. I saw that I removed the Christmas tree and put God in its place. And all these Christians ran up and started biting me. Alright? They're going to hate you. They think this is it. Well, this is a lie, and they're taking everybody out of heaven. They're not allowed to enter that city. They worked that hard to take people out. We need to work that hard to take people in. And if enough of us do this, there will be power again, spiritual power. Okay? It's how God works. I want to witness that. I don't want to just preach this and then this to happen after I die. I would love to witness this, you know? I want to see that movement of God before I'm out of here. These are just facts of life, guys. I hope that we all live for God. Believe. Give Him more than what you gave whenever you were a Christian and thought that that was the way and you gave it everything you had. Give God more. It is important. It is God. He cares. It is important that we get rid of these lies and we have a movement with God. This war is coming. We need to save people before. Get as many people out of Christianity as we can, show them the truth.